Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive right into the top stories making headlines today. U.S. District Judge Beryl Howell rejected a request from the Trump administration for her recusal in a legal case involving an executive order targeting Perkins Coie LLP. The administration argued her impartiality was compromised due to past comments about Trump and the connections to related cases. Howell dismissed these claims, stating they did not meet the standard for disqualification and accusing the Department of Justice of undermining judicial integrity through ad hominem attacks. Are you serious? She knows she should recuse herself. But Trump's executive action blocks Perkins Coie from working with federal contractors and suspends security clearances for individuals at the firm, citing alleged misconduct. And it is misconduct. These are the people that helped produce that PP tape. You know, the Steele dossier, the fake dossier they used to try to take down Trump. This is a dirty, dirty, dirty law firm. Howell's ruling highlights ongoing tensions between the judiciary and executive actions, with her decision to extend the temporary block on Trump's order still pending. The situation has drawn attention to legal and constitutional debates surrounding executive authority and judicial impartiality. 23andMe, a genetic testing company, has filed for bankruptcy and is now permitted to sell its extensive genetic database, which includes sensitive information from 15 million customers. I warned y'all, all these people that was getting these DNA tests and stuff like that, giving it to these people, giving your information to these people, I try to warn y'all. I told y'all that they're going to end up selling your information, and now look at what's happening. A U.S. bankruptcy judge emphasized the need to balance a swift sale process with minimizing collateral damage, pushing back deadlines to allow creditors to weigh in. Concerns have been raised about privacy, with calls for a neutral third party to oversee the sale of customer data. Critics argue that the company's privacy policies may not adequately protect consumers, and the situation highlights the risk of sharing biometric data with corporations. The case has sparked debates about ethical practices in handling sensitive information during bankruptcy proceedings. Y'all gave these people y'all consent, so now they're going to sell your data. They're going to sell your biometrics, and then someone like China's going to get a hold of it and make a bioweapon from your DNA. I mean, I tried to warn y'all. The Trump administration has announced a policy change ending access to taxpayer-backed FHA mortgages for individuals residing in the U.S. illegally, as well as non-permanent residents. This shift aligns with efforts to ensure housing funds are administered according to legal and financial stability requirements. HUD Secretary Scott Turner emphasized that American taxpayers will no longer support programs for those who are in the country unlawfully. The policy reverses provisions from the Biden administration, which allowed non-permanent residents, including DACA recipients, to apply for FHA loans. Officials noted that previous practices did not track the number of loans issued to these groups, making it challenging to assess the broader impact of the change. Critics argue that such measures may disproportionately affect vulnerable populations and raise concerns about housing accessibility. Well, they should have thought about that before they came into this country illegally. Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education, urged California Governor Gavin Newsom to take a clear stance on issues related to transgender policies in schools. She highlighted contradictions in his recent statements opposing male athletes competing in women's sports while allowing policies that permit boys identifying as girls to use female facilities and participate in overnight accommodations. McMahon emphasized the importance of protecting female spaces, informing parents about gender-related issues, and aligning school practices with federal laws like Title IX and FERPA. She called on Newsom to repeal laws that promote gender identity over biological sex in school environments, warning of potential federal funding losses and legal violations. The statement underscores the need for transparency and parental involvement in education policies. 7 Republican senators have anonymously criticized Vice President J.D. Vance's American First foreign policy views. So why they being anonymous? Stand by what you say. Tell us why you don't want to put American people first. Why you don't want to put your country first. I'm sick of these rhinos. But they express concerns about his perceived isolationist stance, particularly regarding U.S. actions against the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. These lawmakers reportedly claim that Vance's approach might confuse European allies and question its alignment with GOP foreign policy direction. What is the direction? Start wars, continue to fund these wars, and keep giving money to Europe? Is that what the GOP foreign policy is? No, I'm behind J.D. Vance on this. Some critics suggest that Vance's resistance to extensive funding for Ukraine adds to concerns about his worldview. No, this is what the majority of the Americans and the majority of MAGA feel. We are tired of giving our funds to these foreign countries. I mean, look how the president of Ukraine, what's his name, Zelensky, came over here and basically come out with his hand out and then spat in our face. And now all of a sudden he want to come and try to apologize and stuff. No, we're sick of giving y'all our money. We're done with this crap. And it's not isolationist, it's putting Americans first. Donald Trump Jr. and other conservatives have defended Vance, condemning the anonymous attacks as cowardly and reflective of neoconservative tendencies within the party. We got to stamp out these neoconservatives. The debate highlights division within the GOP over foreign policy priorities. President Trump has ended taxpayer funding for Gavi, a vaccine organization funded by, of course, Bill Gates, as part of a broader effort to, what he say, eliminate misuse. It's a broader effort to eliminate misuse of government funds. The decision follows an audit of USAID, which revealed widespread abuse and led to the agency's closure. Gavi, which relied heavily on U.S. contributions, expressed concerns about the impact on its operations, including efforts to vaccinate children globally. Critics argue that the funding could lead to preventable deaths, while supporters emphasize the need for fiscal responsibility and alignment with national priorities. I mean, Bill Gates got all this money. If this is so concerning, why don't he use his own funds? The move has sparked debates about the balance between humanitarian aid and government accountability. Senator Bernie Sanders has faced scrutiny over financial records showing that his stepson, David Driscoll, received significant payments from the Sanders Institute, a nonprofit co-founded by Sanders' wife. Driscoll, serving as the executive director, has been paid approximately $800,000 since 2018, raising concerns about the organization's financial practices. You know, Bernie Sanders, the so-called socialist, doesn't mind starting a profit and giving money to his stepson. But critics argue that the nonprofit revenue largely spent on salaries, leaving little for its stated mission. Isn't that's par for the course for these nonprofits? Are promoting progressive voices and democratic engagement. They probably, I mean, it's a money grab. It's a money scheme. Whenever these people start these nonprofits, it's to get money, tax-free money. Additionally, Sanders' campaign committee transferred $200,000 to the Institute in 2023, drawing criticism for potential conflicts of interest, which of course it is. How do you take your campaign funds and give it to your nonprofit? These revelations have reignited debates about transparency and ethical standards in political and non-political operations. These people are gross. And he goes around talking about oligarchs. You are an oligarch. Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency team has revealed that nearly 40% of calls to the Social Security Administration are from fraudsters attempting to redirect benefits to their own accounts. These individuals pose as retirees and convince staff to change banking details, leading to stolen funds and disrupted payments. Musk highlighted the the systemic loopholes enabling such fraud and emphasized the need for reform to protect legitimate beneficiaries. The Doge team has also uncovered inconsistencies in the Social Security database, including millions of entries for individuals aged 100 or older, some even exceeding the age of the U.S. Constitution. Efforts are underway to address these issues despite opposition from some political figures. You know, the loony left. They can't stand accountability. They can't stand transparency. Lastly, despicable Judge James Boasberg. I know I hit him with an ad hominem attack. I hate ad hominem attacks, but he is despicable. He presided over a case involving the use of the encrypted app Signal by the Trump administration officials, which a watchdog group claims violates the Presidential Records Act. So they didn't have no problem when Biden was using that, when Biden's administration was using the app. But the group alleged that officials, including John Ratcliffe and Pete Hegseth, used Signal to discuss military actions against Houthi terrorists in Yemen. During the hearing, Boasberg emphasized his random assignment. Who believes this assignment was random? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, it's anything but random. The same guy that's been shooting down Trump was sending these criminal illegals to prison over there in Venezuela is the same guy that just happened to get this too. Are you serious? He ordered all relevant agencies to preserve Signal messages from March 11th through the 15th. The situation has fueled ongoing debates about transparency, government accountability, and the proper use of communication tools in handling sensitive information. But that's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.